What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited. Nobody cares, but I care, and that's all that matters. All right, and I have a special guest with me, Kelly Pryor from the left coast. What's going on?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for
Woo!
having me.
It's been a couple weeks since we last talked. I know last time we did a show, we talked about uh, 90s music, and we went on a tangent on R. Kelly. So,
Yeah, we did. Poor thing.
yeah, I
Well,
know.
we did kind of drag a couple people for filth, but oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get over the stench of Robert Kelly, but it's a working process. Now, speaking of stench, now today we're going to talk about a whole different kind of stench. Okay, we're going to talk about that stench that's coming out of Washington D.C. So a lot has happened today. A lot has happened since we last talked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot to talk about. So I guess we're
Okay.
gonna start right at the beginning. And the one person that's on everybody's mind, who's taking up space in everybody's mind, she's getting a lot of free rent over the last couple of weeks, and that's unfortunately from my state, Marjorie. Is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Up with that.
yeah. AKA Crazy Bitch. Um, So if you can refer to her as Marjorie Taylor Greene, or you can refer to her as Crazy Bitch, or anything in between. So
She is definitely trending. I can tell you that.
yeah, she's a piece of work. So today, as you well know, uh, Congress had a vote today, and that's right. They put her to sleep. They put her to sleep. So she was kicked off of her committees, and they have basically neutered her for her entire tenure as a Republican member of the House of Representatives. So she have 2 years of basically, I guess, milking her 15 minutes of fame, because even though she's been neutralized, she's gonna be all over the news with her crazy conspiracy theories and things of that nature. For those of my listeners out there who don't know anything about Marjorie Taylor Greene, let me give you a quick recap. This is the crazy bitch who had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to accuse uh, the Jews of setting fires, the California fires, with a laser from outer space. Now, I've heard some crazy shit in my life. I've seen some crazy shit in my life. That that takes the fucking cake. That is beyond the pale. I still can't believe an actual person that got elected to a national office like that actually said and believes nonsense like that. But that's not all. You think that's all? No, 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 not even by a little bit. But wait, there's more.
Right?
She's a QAnon conspiracy
Mm.
theorist. She thinks that Democrats drink the blood of children. What else? There's some other stuff too that she believes. She believes that the school shootings in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, and also in Parkland, Florida, were staged. That they didn't actually occur.
And she harassed the victims,
Yeah,
the
she
survivors of
yeah
it,
she did. She
saying
sure
that it was
did.
a hoax and they knew it was a hoax, running after them on camera, shouting at them.
And she was strapped at the time.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, she was strapped, and she was bragging to the young man, this young guy who survived the shooting. She's bragging to him that she's strapped. And also, there was one other thing that she did that's noteworthy. She believes that 9/11 never happened, that it was all staged, and that planes didn't actually crash into the Pentagon, so on and so forth. So suffice it to say, this bitch fucking crazy. So if anybody's out there offended by me calling her a bitch, that's your problem, because she a fucking bitch. Okay? Alright, so Marjorie Taylor Greene and her followers, if you're out there listening right now, yeah, I said it, she a fucking bitch. She a crazy bitch. Okay, and prove me wrong. So, that being said, Miss Kelly, the floor is yours.
Well, I think you said it. I mean, yeah, she's crazy. I think this is a yet another not even isolated. She's just at the forefront, one of many that is a result of unchecked white supremacist racism from days past. I mean, it's for some reason these people do not get checked. They're allowed to fester, allowed to pass down the buffoonery from generation to generation because they're not necessarily wearing like a Klan's robe. And you don't have to be wearing a Klan's robe. They've changed their uniform. They wear suits. They're in college. They're pilots. They're in Congress. They're on they're on the benches in the courts. They're the bailiff. They're the cop. They're the adjunct professor. And this is what we get. This is a result of unchecked buffoonery. Because,
that poses a question. Let me ask you this: Does this happen 10 years ago? At this level.
Does this happen 10 years ago?
Yeah. Does she happen 10 years ago?
Yes. You know why? Because 10 years ago, that would have been that Obama was in office, and at that point.
Okay. You're right. Pre-Obama. Does she happen?
Pre-Obama.
Yeah.
Would have been Bush.
Yeah.
And I think it would not have gotten
because at some point.
These people were brewing since then. See, they changed their names and they rebrand themselves, and they start to get crazier with the message based on
do you think,
how the constituents respond.
So do you think 12 years ago, before Obama, she would have been Tea Party?
Yes.
So she's basically a hybrid or a mutated form of the Tea Party.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was getting ready to go. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. You read my mind. Yep.
So
this is new improved version.
Yeah. and she gonna ride this sucker till the wheels fall off. So her newfound celebrity. Now, where do you think this is gonna take her?
It's probably gonna take her to she's gonna be on a PAC. She'll be on a PAC. I predict this is my prediction. I think Tom Cotton is going to try to run for president just based on the things that he's been saying and doing. She's going to fold back into the woodworks, but she's still going to get paid. I mean, she'll be at the forefront for a while, like you said, working out, running out her 15 minutes of fame on TV shows and, guest spots. She's going to end up speaking at colleges, I guarantee you. So her work is not, she might be out of the Capitol, but her work is not done. Her paycheck, her spigot has not been cut off. As a matter of fact, now the floodgates are about to turn up.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the probability that she'll have a show on Fox?
Oh, about 10?
You think?
1,000? She gonna get her own segment. They're gonna carve out a space and push Sucker Carlson back and put her in there. So, anyway, that's all. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, there's a whole lot of them that need to be booted. As a matter of fact, on this same note, there's I think it was today, but there were 90 organizations in Texas, as a matter of fact, that got together and got over 25,000 signatures to get people like her out, Ted Cruz, and a whole lot of them that had something to do with this, with helping to incite the insurrection that happened at the Capitol. That was another virtual event today that I don't think I made it today. But it's 90 different organizations joined together, and I think they're trying to get more signatures on a petition. But so far they got 25,000 signatures to try to get these people out of here.
So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a positive. Yeah. That's a positive. So that being said, so her newfound fame, power, because she's gonna ride this crest to unprecedented heights. Okay, so theoretically, this opens the door for a lot of people to follow her in. And my fear, I won't say it. I wouldn't call it a fear because I ain't scared of shit. My concern,
Right.
my concern is that it's gonna be a lot of young people following her, seeing her path to fame through Twitter and social media, and how they, even if they don't believe these things, seeing how they can make money and become influential by following her blueprint. Because the blueprint she's following Trump's blueprint to an extent. Okay, and she's adding her own little spices to it. So, and you got the Josh Hawleys of the world, and who's gonna try to ride his wave into the White House. There's gonna be a lot of young, impressionable, right wing nuts who are going to take this and use this, even if they don't believe it. They're going to use this to catapult themselves into the national spotlight and make a ton of fucking money. Your thoughts?
Well, I think we don't even have to wait until it gets to what we see as the end result on social media. A lot of the young people, so to speak, whatever range you want to think of, they're already being, a lot of the ones in those circles are already being groomed. They've already been groomed. So they constantly see the reward for the buffoonery. So, like I said, because they're in college right now. You can't tell me they won't be at, I can't think of the name of that university that always has racists running through there like it's nobody's business. But,
Liberty
they're constantly
or
seeing
Roberts?
the rewards. It's like, oh, if I just act like just carry on Grandpappy's, ideology from Civil War times, and I can come back and be, paid $250,000 for the speaking fee and come on back and speak at these places and not be touched, and then go tomorrow to Fox or whatever other station is a brewing, because I have a feeling there's another one coming out now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's coming.
So read me on this, and this is my God's honest belief and opinion. Okay, Tommy Lauren, she does not believe a thing that she says. I don't think that's her actual ideology. I think that is all just for publicity and to get paid.
I wish when you came out here to Vegas that I could have taken you around a few people that knew her at UNLV, and you would understand.
Okay, so explain it. Explain it. As much as you can.
Well, let's just say that she can indulge herself in chocolate and get up and still execute white supremacy. But she can compartmentalize the two. Okay, she can make you think there's a difference between loving to, for lack of a better term, we're gonna get brutal. Okay, we'll get brutal because I know you will.
Yeah.
But there is a difference between loving to fuck black people, or white people who love to fuck black people, and white people who love black people.
Yeah.
She's the first part that I described. This has been her MO for quite some time. Even if people don't notice, but I notice sometimes when she tweets and then everybody backlashes against her, and she got like 1,000, 3,000 comments. If I search the comments and find something about black guys in UNLV or something and see, you can always see it. Somebody always caps her, and people don't catch that. And I catch it every time. So she has a history, but she has been that way. They just cultivated her because she was young, and they knew that they could get the longevity of her racist, white supremacist talking points and milk it to be damned. So yeah, she believes it. She believes it. And now she's never going to even entertain the thought of not believing it because she's been getting paid for it for at least a decade now.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's currency for her. Everything that she says and does on Twitter, and that's currency. Because I just get the feeling that, she really does not believe, anything that she says.
Look, I'm convinced if she was born in a certain time, she would have been a slave owner.
You think?
That's my take on her, and I say that because of a book that I read called "They Were Her Property," where white women weren't just sitting there like these pretty maidens while their slave owner husbands were cheating on them. They were 40% of slave owners back in
Really? But she would
Fine
have been kicking it with Mandingo anyway.
Yeah, they were kicking it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they were kicking it back then. They were kicking it with them. But that's what I mean. She had her own personal. She could just, purchase her harem and still beat the shit out of them whenever she felt like it, or string one up, or whatever she wanted to do. Whenever she got tired of them. But yeah, I'm telling you. You think she doesn't believe what she's saying? She believes what she's saying. I'm telling you. It's just really hard, like I said, for us to understand that they can be nice to us, but they treat not all of them. I'm not just saying all white people. I'm telling you, I'm not saying all white people, especially the ones that have the John Brown mentality. If you do have the John Brown mentality, please, come see me. You're a friend of mine already. Okay, anyway, but she is she can tell she's been immersed in it from a tot to now. It's not for show. It's who she is. I'm telling you, Alonzo, it's who she is.
Have you ever been to South Dakota?
To South Dakota?
Yeah.
No. Do I want to go? No. Any desire? No.
Ditto.
That's like saying, do you want to go to Idaho? No. Do you want to go to Oregon? No.
Have you ever been to Montana?
No. I have friends that are there, though.
I have. I've been to Montana. I spent a lot of time there.
Eek.
Yeah.
How white was it?
This true story. Okay. All right. Montana is so white. I was there for 6 months. I was there for 179 days TDY.
Dang.
Okay, in Missoula, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My whole time there, I never saw a black person, not one. Until my very last day there. Okay, I go to check out I was at the hotel on base. I go to check out. True story. I walk into the lobby, and there's a black girl behind the counter. This actually happened. I stopped. She looked at me. I looked at her, and almost simultaneously, we both said, "Where you been?"
Oh.
Yes, that's the only time that I saw a person of color. I know there were others. I just never saw them. That was the only time I saw a person of color in 179 days. Let me take that back. That's the only time I saw a person of color on other than on TV, live and in person. And it was just the weirdest feeling to be there, immersed in that for as long as I was. The feeling.
And the last day you saw another black person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Another story.
That's a doggone shame.
I know.
And you know what? But guess what? The white people knew y'all were there, though. You probably upped the population.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I have one more story. I'll be quick. I'll be brief.
No, don't worry.
Okay. So I'm in Montana. Okay. I'm a huge Neil Young fan. Okay. Neil Young fan.
Yeah.
All right. So I've never seen him live. So just so happens, one night I'm sitting in a diner, and across the street, it's across the street from a club, and I see a sign that says, Neil Young live tonight only.
Uh-huh.
Okay? I'm like, this is fortuitous. I finally get to see Neil Young live. So, go back, take a shower, clean myself up, put on cologne, Brut by Fabergé. Okay? So, I go to the club. Okay? I get a nice spot near the back of the room or whatever. Get me a beer, the whole nine. I'm chilling, waiting for the show to start. A local guy comes and stands beside me. He doesn't say anything to me. He stands there for a little while. So I'm standing there drinking my beer, enjoying myself. And he leans over and he says, "Are you sure you want to be in here?" I looked around and it hit me. Okay, I guess I don't. So suffice it to say, I did not get to see Neil Young live. So Neil is out there listening.
The warning.
Yes, and I don't think he was being malicious or I think he was telling me that.
He was warning you.
Yeah, he was like, I know how these motherfuckers get when they get liquored up, and you don't want to be in here, at midnight, and it's beer 30. Because you might, because there are no trees in Montana. There's a whole lot of flat land. You know what I'm saying? So I would have seen myself maybe tied to a fence for the coyotes to chew on me or something.
Drug you.
Yeah.
You in dragon land.
Exactly.
Sorry, but it's not funny with It's called Dragonland.
Exactly.
They're just gonna drive until there's just a chain left. They don't care.
Exactly. And
Wow.
yeah, I was raised to believe God when He sends you messages, and that was a message from God that you need to take your black ass back to your hotel room, close the door, and watch TV, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm. From God to you to me, because that's a message from God to me, and I wasn't even I wasn't even there. I felt that the way you were telling, like He was warning you to get the hell out of. You don't want to be here.
Exactly.
So trust me. So what happened to the other black person here? That's what it took it from 5 black people to 3. So come on.
Exactly. That's how you get on the milk carton. Yeah. So to my folks out there in Montana, much love and peace. I will never come back. I promise.
Those places were built anyway because they didn't want black people there. That's why they moved to where they moved to.
Yeah.
Oregon and Montana, because they didn't want any black people there.
Now, isn't it true? Isn't it true that Oregon has some sort of like an ordinance or something? It's like illegal to be black in that state.
For a long time, that was the whole point that was the establishment of Oregon. That's why I can't believe black people are there. I'm like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, through Ancestry.com, I found out that I have a cousin that lives there.
Oh, wow.
But she, sought me out because she was adopted. So we don't, and I kind of figured out who on my father's side of the family is her dad. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so I was like, wow, I actually do know. I have a family member in that area,
but you haven't been there.
Not going.
So shouts out to the folks in Portland. I know there's a lot of riots and everything going on. So yeah. So shouts out. I think the only black folks in Oregon are the Portland Trailblazers anyway. So
that wouldn't make no sense. I wouldn't even play for Oregon. I'd be like, no.
I know that's right.
Too much of a plantation type of situation. I'm like, no, I'm good.
So peace out. Peace out to all the folks out there in Oregon. Okay, so I know we digressed a little bit, but I got on a tangent, so I apologize for that.
No, it was a good story, though. That's a lesson. Somebody will hear it and remember, wait a minute, I remember him saying when that dude said, you sure you want to be here? Shout out to him.
Yeah.
He might have saved your life.
Yeah, because I could have been like, man, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be like, oh, I tried to tell you.
You'd have been a hashtag the next day.
Exactly. I could have tried to be Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours and rouse the bar and everything, but like.
I know, that was such a great scene.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't have Nick Nolte with me. I was on my own. I didn't have a badge to play with.
You didn't have Miss Moss with you?
Nah.
I got Miss Moss. She's a good friend of mine. I like Miss Moss.
Really?
Yeah. Her last name is Berg, but her first name is Moss.
Right on. Okay. That being said, I gotta ask you now, and I know you'll be honest with me and everything. What is your beef with Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris. What is your beef with her?
Oh.
I know you have no love for her. You got no love for the pearls and chucks.
Absolutely none. Absolutely none.
Why?
Okay, so here it is. Long story short is when Kamala Harris was in California as the Attorney General, she made it through past history, just backtracking what she's done. She made her mission at any point in time to basically oversee black people being harassed to all be damned. And I'll give you the examples. I'll give you 2 examples. One is they put together a truancy law or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the terminology is for the policy, but it ended up disproportionately locking up a lot of black people, and specifically black females, black mothers, because their children were truant. And what was going on is one major case of a woman who got arrested because her daughter was truant was a mother whose daughter was sickly and had already cleared this with the school. They knew that the daughter was going to be absent, because she has sickle cell. But the mother still ended up having to spend time in jail. So that's just one situation. There's another one where there is a girl by the name of Maitrice Richardson. Anybody can Google this woman's name, and it'll all come up about Kamala Harris and how she comes up bad in it. Basically protecting cops. Mitrice Richardson had, I think she had like bipolar disorder or whatever's going on, had a little altercation somewhere in LA, got arrested, was held at a, police station, called her parents. She's a, relatively young woman, maybe in her 20s. Parents said, hey, keep her there, we're coming. Parents get there, the cops have released her like at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And if anybody knows about California with the canyons, where this one police station was, they released her from in a canyon. Now, these canyons are these mountains that, you ride the roads that go all the way through. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think the one canyon that she was leaving from, and don't quote me, you guys, but I think that's the same canyon like where Manson used to live and all this craziness and whatever. But that being said, she went missing and she ended up dead. So the parents were trying to hold the police station accountable, summon Kamala Harris for help. She said she would help them, but she was using that because she was running for DA or whatever the hell she was trying to do. And as soon as she got her position, she dropped these people like a hot potato. There's a whole interview with the family about that. They break that down. Now, fast forwarding to our black men who are in prison and with in conjunction with the fires that were going on in LA or in California, wherever they were. She used the prisoners to be firefighters. But the thing was, a good majority of them were up for parole or supposed to be released. And so there was a big situation of saying, to release them. There was like other judges that were like summoning her and sanctioning her you need to release them. She didn't want to do that because she needed to make sure that the rich homes didn't get burned. So she kept them there longer than their state, even against threats, even against it being against the law. She did that. Also, with Steve Mnuchin, our favorite person who prints money whenever he feels like it. Basically, Trump put him in there as a wolf protecting the damn hen house. He is also responsible with his part in the housing crash in 2009. Kamala Harris was the Attorney General at that time. She didn't prosecute him. Speculation is because he gave her money towards her campaign when she was going for a Senate seat, so she never prosecuted him. She took the campaign donation and never touched him. I got problems with her. Also, people want to say, and this is another big issue in the black community, that we're all giving smack fights amongst each other. Even though she has black skin and she's black like me, she is not an American black person. And I say that because it's a problem when you have a person that looks like us that's not from where we're from in positions of power to make decisions for us. There's no way in the world anybody can tell me that Kamala Harris has ever had to go through the point or a day in her life of having to worry about whether or not to pay the lights or to buy her baby some food. She's never gonna connect with that. So I don't want somebody in Washington deciding for me what's going on. As a matter of fact, she's not even deciding for me because the adage is, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. We're never at the table. So black people, we're on the menu. I'm talking about the ones that descend from chattel slavery. Your ancestors were brought here in the hull of a ship and made to build up this country when it was called the New World, to the point that it looked really good and decided, oh, we'll call it America. I'm talking about those black folks. I'm not talking about the ones that you came here post 1965 after the Civil Rights Amendment, Civil Rights Act passed, and we fought for immigration, and then, the floodgates opened and everybody came over. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who paid the cost, suffering accrued disadvantages from systemic racism. I'm not talking about because the cop pulled you over because of the color. I'm talking about systemic policies that have been put in line. So with that being said, she does not identify with that. She cannot identify with that. She was here. Her mother is East Indian Brahmin, which is like the top of the hierarchy in India, where she comes from. They're like the white people of their area. And her dad is Jamaican. And if you look at her dad, he looks like Gandhi with curly hair. And if anybody knows about the Caribbean, there are a lot of East Indians that live there. And that's not a new thing. They've been there. chances are he could be a Jamaican Indian. And I say that to say this. That does not equate, your color of your skin does not equate in this country what it is that we went through versus the needs of us. And she doesn't do that. Also, she comes from a very affluent background, kudos to her, but she has continuously lied about her connections trying to get black cred. I don't know if you noticed that. She lied and used an anecdotal story that was actually Martin Luther King's, and everybody caught her in that lie. But then the Capitol stuff happened, the storm on the Capitol, that kind of eclipsed it. And I know she's like breathing a sigh of relief because everybody was tearing into her ass and dragging her for filth. Before that, she stood in front of Howard University, which is where she graduated from, on Martin Luther King's birthday, and that's when she, announced her candidacy that she was going to run for president. Right after that, she had the nerve to try to be cool when she went on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne the God, and she was telling him about how she smoked weed, and she was saying when she did, and she said she used to listen to Snoop and Tupac, and they weren't even out then when she said that. She lied about that. She then embarrassingly went on, I think it was either Trevor Noah or whatever comedy stint it was, and she had the nerve to do some kind of joking thing that she was still trying to get her black cred, and she had the nerve to give a shout out to Fife from Tribe Called Quest, and he'd already been dead for 2 years. She did that. She's done her, and back to her fluency, she was here for like 2 seconds in the United States, and then when the shit got hot, when all the civil rights stuff was going on, because see, her parents came here as professors. They didn't come here with no struggle. They came here already with some money. You had to have money to come across the pond anyway. It wasn't like you could take a bus and just drive. It wasn't like you could go to the gate and immigrate. They immigrated, but they came over here already affluent people. And when the shit got tough with the civil rights, they left and went to Canada.
Yeah.
Lived in an affluent area. Her neighbor was Justin Trudeau, who is now the president or the prime minister or whatever the title is for Canada. That was her neighbor. She has no connection to us. That's why I have a problem. If she was going to speak to the issues that are pressing to our black people, that's fine. But she doesn't, and it doesn't mean to speak to our issues means you can't speak to anybody else's. She won't do it because she's even said on the griot, I'm not going to just sit up here and do anything. It's only something for black people. No. I mean, she got real indignant, real crazy. Anybody can Google that. I wish I could share the screen because I got the video. It's just a little 2-minute clip. It doesn't even matter. Everything I'm telling you, you can look up. She's been an asshole from day one. She does not like the fact that the people that see her for who she is have been checking her on it. She's just done a lot. I could go on for days on her, and she's been very mad at people like myself across the nation because we are the ones that are responsible for getting her knocked off in the presidential debates. Even she was pretty much dead in the water almost.
Yeah,
she was not happy with us, and I don't want to say in what ways that I can prove that she did it, but she was behind it.
Well, I knew that she wasn't gonna get the presidential nomination. I knew that was a wash from the jump. I think it was a shrewd move to put herself in the position to be vice president because I think the over under that Biden makes it through the next 4 years. I say he's probably got about a 50-50 chance of making it. So she has a legitimate shot of being president. But I feel you on that, okay? But she's an AKA. I mean,
so that's like saying she went to an HBCU. And then my answer to that is so did Rachel Dolezal. How'd that work out?
Yeah, but she's white. Rachel's white though.
Yeah. Well, we thought she was black. Somebody did. And there was
I guess my thing is with Kamala. With Kamala, okay, somebody had to do it. Okay, so and I mean, what was the alternative? There was nobody. There was no alternative person of color that could get that position.
Exactly. But the thing is, I don't care if it's a person of color. I don't care if it's a one-eye, one-horn, flying purple people leader. I don't like black people who run on blackness trying to get my black vote, and then I get your ass in there, and then you don't want to do nothing for me. I got a problem with I don't care what is going on. I mean, it's just the optics. She is not good for us. So everybody's like, oh, I just want to see a person that looks like me. First of all, that symbolism
Kelly,
is not going to get your bills paid. Symbolism
I get
is not
that. I
going to
get
keep
that.
the
I get
landlord
that.
from wanting his rent and kicking your
I get
ass
that.
out
I get
next
that.
month.
I get that.
But Kamala looks like me. I hope that works for the bills. Go ahead.
Okay, but there's that but though. There's that but. I mean, you're never going to get everything that you want. It's just never going to happen. Especially.
And I know everybody's going to say, well, you couldn't get anything with Trump, but I'm going to tell you something. And I never backed Trump. I never backed either one of them. They were both bad choices for me. I'm saying let the white folks duke that out. Because either way, you're not getting anything with Trump, and you're not going to get anything. So whoever they fight over and duke it out with, what happens is it ends up where they're going to be at a gridlock. So it's going to come a time when they're going to have to get the careerist politicians up out of there, because the way that white people normally flip-flop back and forth from Republican to Democrat, there's going to have to be there needs to be a rebirth of that, and they can never get that. They will never learn the lesson if black people keep being their damn tiebreaker one way or the other.
Okay, but feel me on this. Feel me on this. Okay, because there's a flip side to that coin. Flip side to that coin is, as a senator, at least she had some influence and some power. As vice president, really, obviously the office of vice president is more of a symbolic position. It really doesn't carry a whole lot of weight other than echoing everything that Biden says. Okay, so I think as a senator, she had the ability to do a little bit more damage as a senator than she will as vice president. Now, granted, if Biden doesn't make it through his full term, then obviously she'll ascend, and then she obviously can become president. But as of right now, nobody really gives a damn about the vice president. Nobody give a damn. They don't really do anything. So other than the fact that she's rocking her pearls and chucks, and she has that title, being the first female to be in this position, and she is a person of color. It's all symbolism. Exactly.
I'm like,
it's all symbolism. But in her current position, she really does not have, the type of influence that she would have. That she had as a senator. Am I right or am I wrong?
What does she do for black people writ large?
No. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, as a senator, at least she had some cachet as a senator, versus as vice president, her cachet is paper thin. Whereas as a senator, she had opportunities to have a voice in the decision making in Washington, versus having very little say in Washington now. Because do you honestly believe Joe Biden's gonna listen to a word she gotta fucking say? Come on.
Well, he's listening to her now. Not listening to her personally, but I'm like, right now, her big thing is fast tracking HB1 visas. So we're gonna have a floodgate of, and I'm not again. Let me give this disclaimer, because I can feel somebody out in the ethos right now trying to go there with me. So I'm gonna stop you at the path. I'm giving this disclaimer. I am not against immigration. I think the vetting process needs to be better. And I will start it off with this question and then go into my situation. I want to know from whoever it is I know they're out there. I challenge you, and you can put it in the comments of Alonzo's video when he posts, or if it's posting, or if it's live on YouTube or wherever. I want to know, and nobody can answer this question, how does immigration benefit black people in the United States? That's my question to you. Now, moving on. She has been, even when she was in Senate, her focal point was fast tracking HB1 visas, which means a wave of not only immigration coming in from the Latino areas, but now you've got it coming in from East India. So, and there's an article, anybody can Google this as well, where there's other Indians that are already here talking about other Indians that are coming care of the people that are saying, hey, we're telling you that we have some needs, but the problem is we have too many of your boule, which are your frat and your sorority, and people in those circles who have found their niche as a buffer class, because they seem to be, not all, because there's some that don't want to be bothered, they're not with the shits like that, but for the ones that are, they're the buffer class between the white people and the black people that are telling you that we need something. And they always look to that little middle area with the Kamala area and people in a surrounding that have that what I want to say, that money bracket as an excuse or as a shadow to what's really going on with the people that really need the help and the ones that are bigger in number that vote their asses in office.
That being said, you got to keep in mind that with immigration is mitigating the Republican Party. Okay, it is mitigating the white supremacists. Okay, so the more we get over here, the more opportunity you will have for blacks to get into positions of power.
No.
Through the vote. Through the vote.
Oh my gosh.
Through the vote. What I'm saying is, if the Republican Party, okay, maintains or increases in size, that diminishes the opportunities for blacks to move forward in positions of power in our government. Whereas if there's immigration, there's more immigration. So because theoretically, the immigrants that come in, they're less likely to come in voting Republican when they do get the opportunity to vote.
No, that's not true, Alonzo. That's been statistically disproven. I gotta stop you there. 9 times out of 10, and I'm telling you, because everybody's like, and I'm not even adding black immigrants into this, but we can add them if you want to.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say, but no.
Believe it or not.
No. Let me stop you because I know exactly where you're going with this. Okay, I know exactly where you're going with this because as we talked about earlier, there's been a fucking shift. Okay, there's been a shift in white supremacy in America. It is now sexy to be now there is currency in white supremacy. Now I would believe your train of thought if this was 15, 20 years ago when it was still undercover. But now that hatred for immigrants is so prevalent from the white community, it is going to push. I'm not talking about the folks who are already here. The new immigrants that come in, they're coming into all this hatred from the white folk. That's going to push them, whether they believe it or whether they want to or not, it's going to push them into an independent, moderate, Democrat frame of thought, or into that voting block. There is no way you ever convince me that the new wave of immigration that's coming into America, meeting the vitriol and the hatred from white America that they're going to get, okay, because it wasn't like this 15, 20 years ago. It was like that, but it wasn't balls out for everybody to see, where now it is theoretically okay to be a white nationalist and to spew that hatred and to treat immigrants the way they treat immigrants. They weren't doing that shit 20 years ago. At least it wasn't as prevalent. It wasn't out there like that. Now that it's out there, I'm telling you right now, for every 100 immigrants that come into America, okay, I'm going to say 80% of those are not going to enjoy being treated the way they're going to be treated by white folks. So they ain't going to vote for white folks. They're not going to vote. They're not going to vote for the white supremacy or the right wingers. They're not going to go there. I can guarantee you that. Okay, I can guarantee you that. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
We are going to agree to disagree.
Okay.
Because it's a debate. So I say that because first of all, too many immigrants from that sector that we're talking about, from that description, bring their anti-black hatred with them when they come here. And even though there are white people that you're saying that they're gonna catch the backlash because it's too many immigrants and better than where it was where they came from. That is the first thing. Second, I think that is a hazing process for them because when you look at, and there's another article about this as well, I'm not just making this up off the cuff, 95% of Latinos that come here to the United States that have immigrated from somewhere else, either documented or undocumented, on paper on the census identify as white. They do not identify as brown. Even if they are Afro-Latina, they are checking white.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Wait a minute.
No. Okay. If I come to this country and I identify as white and I check that white block, okay, but then a white person turns around and puts their foot in my ass, I'm not gonna vote with you. I'm not gonna side with you, even though I might identify myself as one of you, but I'm not one of you because you're gonna do everything you can to mitigate me and to minimize me and to make sure that I don't get the opportunities that you feel that I'm not entitled to. So even though I might identify with you, I don't care who it is. If you being black, if a black person puts their foot in your ass, you're not gonna turn around and be that person's friend. Even though you identify with that black person.
Though.
So what?
They still do it, and I'll tell you, you're saying that they're gonna put their foot in their ass. They're not really putting their foot in their ass because right now immigrants
figuratively
they've been having it. They've got policies to protect them, and for every white person that might be giving them racism, you have companies that are not being punished that are hiring them. So it's a vicious cycle. The Democrats bring them in immigration. The Republicans use them for work. And when there's too many of them, then they call ICE to get them out of here. Oh, go for it. What are you doing?
This show is sponsored by Lipton Half and Half. I'm sorry.
We had to break for our sponsor.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. No, I knew you were there. I just was going to keep it going. But they, when you say that they're putting their foot in their necks, I'm not seeing this big old hordes of people. I'm not seeing Hispanics being pulled over and shot by cops. I'm not seeing Hispanics being, they're not going through it like that. They're not going through it like that. That's why they've got policy. But here's the problem. Here's the bigger problem. The Latino community as a whole needs to be disaggregated. I said what I said. They need to be split up into categories because a white Cuban does not have the same voting interest as a Mexican from Mexico. One might do Democrat and I say white Cubans. Hello, Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, two prime examples. What are they? Republicans. Those are prime examples of your Latinas, Latinos. They're not women, they're men. But my point is that they, in a number, they're like, oh, the Latino community, they're so big. No, they're not. If you separate them out by how they vote, I promise you, they're not as big as everybody is saying. And they are putting down that they are white. And this is not a new thing. And we just have numbers now to go by because you lived in San Antonio. How many Hispanics out there were passing for white? I saw many. I saw many.
Yeah.
Many.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, I know.
You were there.
I know.
So they were not, and they were,
but that was 30 years ago. A lot's changed in 30 years.
Like that now. It hasn't changed. But the thing is
when was the last time you went to San Antonio? When was the last time you went to San Antonio?
When we made the mistake back in the 60s when we were fighting for the Immigration Act, was that we thought that by bringing in a bunch of brown people and black people from other countries that they would band with us, but they don't. They come over here and leapfrog, or they just say, oh, we're not those niggas, and they'll check off. All of a sudden, they don't want to be black, or they don't want to be, whatever that they are. They're white. They will go ahead and go with the white people because they know that means that they get some goodies from it.
Yeah, but the difference is those same white folks are treating them like niggers now. That's the difference.
They're hazing them. They're being hazed. They need to make sure that you are, because even though the white people are treating them like that, do you see them banning with black people? I have yet to see even checking white on the census. You can't give them the numbers and then come over to get my shit too. You're gonna have to do it all. You have to shit on the pot completely or get the hell off. You cannot do that. And it's a disrespect.
We're gonna see. I believe there is going to be a shift, and we're gonna see that shift.
It should have been a shift when we brought their asses over here. There should have been a shift from right there. It should have been a nice thank you and how can we help you, not whatever. Even the president of Mexico in the 50s and the late 60s even said the Negroes' struggle is not their fight. It's a direct quote. But Cesar Chavez can consult Martin Luther King about how to do his movement, but it had nothing to do with ours. But he called him for the blueprint. So it should have been that way. It shouldn't be right now. They're still kicking their butts. You got babies in concentration camps just about the border. They don't give a shit. They're still coming. It's still better than what they were going through where they're living in their own countries. They're willing to be separated out. They're coming in droves, and they're all waiting at the starting block to see if Biden got in. And as soon as they knew he got in, now everybody else is coming because they know when they get here, they are going to be made more American than I am right now. Do you know that right now there's even a law on the books out here in California and Nevada that you cannot stop them if they have expired tags or bad driver's license. You can't impound their car because it would be a hardship if they're undocumented. But meanwhile, let that happen to you. You would be ticket after ticket, going to court, doing all this stuff, but it's a hardship on them because they work. I work, and I'm a full-fledged American.
I guarantee you.
Undocumented, you're breaking the law, you're not supposed to be here, but because you could find a way to break it and get in there, and you could be somebody, you could be, have a landscaping business in 2 weeks, then okay, then
come on now. See that? Now you're getting into stereotypes now. Come on now.
No, I'm not saying it's a stereotype. It is the truth. It is the truth. I'm not staring. That's not a bad thing if you can do that. I'm using that as an example because they have their own business, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm saying that should not be a leapfrog over the very people that need help. Biden has been in here in office, and his first 100 days he did shit for immigrants and LGBTQ. He did not do anything directly for black people. Where the hell is Kamala at? She needs to be in his ear. But don't bother her because we are really not her people. She just used us like a damn Halloween costume to get some votes and say, Skiwi, yes, my soror. You put her in there, and she said, fuck all of y'all. And she told you that on the way in, and so did Biden. So they're there for some symbolism, and we got immigrants coming in. They're not vetting them correctly.
All I know is,
we don't know where they're coming from. We don't know what the background is, nothing. And of course, white people will say something. That's the thing of beating them up. But I have yet to see no hordes of white people going and beating up Hispanics. You can't show it to me.
All I know is, I guarantee you this much. I guarantee you that the Democratic Party will benefit more from immigration than the right will. I guarantee you that much.
How?
I guarantee you.
How?
You will see a difference. You will see a difference in the voting block.
Oh no, I don't want to see a difference in the voting block. I want to see a difference in policy. I want to see a difference in policy.
Come on now, okay now,
I don't care about the voting block.
You have been alive.
You the same people that are going to keep helping immigrants. Where black people come in ever.
You have been. Come on now, you have been alive just as long as I have. Okay, you have been alive long. You have been alive long enough to know that there if there's any change, it will be so incremental, that we're not even going to notice it anyway. It's all about who rules, who has the power, who gets the most votes, and who has the balance of power. That's what it's always been about. It is never going. There's not going to be this huge pendulum swing to where we're going to see massive changes for the black community. Okay, there's not going to be sweeping change. I'm going to say not in our lifetimes. We're not going to see that in our lifetime.
Really? I think so. I beg to differ.
No.
I know that there's a group in California that just
maybe
if registration passed for specifically
I mean, if you know, I mean, like, you know, if if LeBron James gets elected president or something, you know, or somebody like that, you know, or Stokely Carmichael or somebody.
When Obama was in there,
is Stokely Carmichael still alive?
But you know, when Obama was in there and he was, you know, supposed to be in the highest position of the land, everybody said, well, he can only do so much. So I see that position as symbolic. It's useless. I want to know people that are in the Senate.
But Kelly, a blackity black person is not going to get elected president. You know, it just ain't going to happen. All right?
Oh, I don't even care. I want to know who can do some policy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The black folks who are in power, who do have these positions in government, they're not blackity black. Okay, we're not going to. You know, we'll be lucky to see somebody like that get maybe into the House of Representatives, but we're not going to see at the highest levels of power. We're not going to see a blackity black person. You know, Dave Chappelle is not going to ever get elected to an office.
I don't want Dave Chappelle in office.
But I'm using that. I'm using that. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick is not gonna, you know, who else? Muhammad Ali. Those folks who have those type of ideologies are not going to, you know, ascend, you know, to that level of office.
Because we have and they never will, because
exactly. So that's what I mean.
Here's why I'm saying that they never will, with all due respect, because people like yourself in our community just feel like, oh, I just got to be part of the voting process regardless. And if you a lot of people start taking a fall because they're not doing something for the people that they are marketing to get to where they're going. And if a lot of them see, if I don't, I'm afraid if I don't.
All I know is this. All I know is this.
You guys are too afraid to do it.
All I know is this. Me voting for Marjorie Taylor Greene is not going to do anything for me. It'll do less for me than voting for Kamala Harris. Okay? All right. Me voting for Marjorie Taylor Greene in no way benefits me at all.
No. How about neither? How about a moral man never votes for evil ever? How about that part? So what happens is people are afraid.
Okay. I mean.
Don't become part of it. Do you understand that you said
apathy gets you absolutely nowhere. Apathy gets you absolutely nowhere. Apathy. It don't get you anywhere. You got to do something. You got to do something.
But that is something. Do you understand that when how their ears go up? Do you understand why the fight so hard this election season was with black men, and they were doing all this stuff with the strippers and stuff? Because the word around the block was, don't participate in the electoral process. And I'm telling you, people think, oh, you ain't voting, trying to shame black folks. But the thing is, they knew we were the damn tiebreaker.
Okay. Let me give you a perfect example. Let me give you a perfect example. Let me get
racism and racism light.
What
world does that make sense?
I want to know. Let me give you a perfect example. Okay. All right. Kelly Loeffler, David Perdue, John Ossoff, Raphael Warnock. Okay, I'm in Georgia. There was no fucking way I was going to vote for Perdue or Loeffler, and there was no fucking way that I was going to not vote at all. Okay, because Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue maintaining their power in the Senate and representing the state of Georgia in no way helps me whatsoever. So we had to get them out by any means necessary, and that means was voting for Warnock and Ossoff. Period.
No, I get that.
And I'm telling you right now, I give a goddamn what Warnock and Ossoff does. I could care less. But all I know is that,
I said I get that. You had to make the best bad decision.
Exactly. And a lot of black folks in the state of Georgia felt that way. It's like, there's no fucking way we can let Loeffler and Perdue stay in office. All right.
Yeah, I understand that.
And what I'm saying, and that's the same difference. That's the same difference. There was no fucking way that Trump could be allowed to remain in office. There was no fucking way that we could allow the Republicans to maintain control of the Senate or get control of the House of Representatives.
They weren't doing anything to black people. It was fucking up white folks. And I think they didn't get their asses whipped long enough. White people and immigrants were getting their asses handed to them. And it wasn't just like he was hopping over us. It's just the shit that we were already going through. Everybody else was starting to feel the pinch. And then it sped up because of COVID. So now everybody's crying foul. And I'm like, no, they need to sit in that for a minute. Because they didn't get it. It was like, oh, help us get out of it. We got to get out of this. So now they're out of it again. And we're still here. We are still here holding the failure while they all climb their way up out of it, and policies are being made to help them up out the ranks. So what did we get? They needed to still be punished, and that's what people didn't understand. Everybody was getting it. Everybody was getting it. Everybody was getting it. But all of a sudden, it was this shame black people. They are our tiebreaker. They got to get us out of this, and we got them out of it. But what are we getting for it? Nobody can answer that, and they know it. That's why Ice Cube just today, there was an article about him because Biden tried to give him sleight of hand. Remember when Trump was calling him right away, and there was a big controversy with that, and then Biden said, okay, after we'll talk to you. Well, people have been getting in Biden's ass. Okay, it's been 10 days. This is all you've done. You've been doing stuff for immigrants and LGBT. It's been 10 days. It's been 11 days. This is all you've done. It's been this so many days. So now they're like, hey, I'm just wondering if you're ever going to call Ice Cube back like you said. He actually did. There's an actual meeting getting ready to take place with Biden's with Ice Cube's Black Plan, Plan for Black America.
Contract Black America.
That's going to happen. I mean, so they're going to talk, but I'm surprised he honored it. But I know he honored it because black folks are like, and you know what else? It's not just people like me that people probably think I like to bitch and moan. All of Kamala's 8 sorors and all these other people is like, oh, she looks like me, and symbolism, and they're seeing nothing's happening for them. Nothing is happening for them. Even when Kamala's position was open in California, they gave it to a Hispanic gentleman. They couldn't even give it to one of her skiwees or a black person. Even in her cabinet, she don't even have. The only black person in there that considered black is her sister, who is her advisor.
All I know is Trump and Pence could not be allowed to do it to another 4 years. Period.
Should have been. I didn't want him in there. Trust me, I didn't want him in there. But for the sake of just watching everybody get a glimpse of black life, real black life, and the treatment that you get, just any day. I mean, he was going after transgender, LGBTQ. He was doing it. He didn't give a damn. And that was the beauty of it. He spread the love in that negative way, and people couldn't take it for 4 years. 4 years of what we've been doing for decades. So it wasn't even like, oh, that was their time to actually empathize and say, you know what, we get it now. No, they don't get it. They just said, you know what, this is uncomfortable. You niggas need to help us get out of it. No return. No, we're gonna reciprocate. We're gonna be reciprocal in what we do for you. Just get us out of it. So now we, like hoes, gave up the ass, our vote, for free. They're out of it, and now we're trying to act like, how come he won't put a ring on it? Because you gave your ass up for free. That's why. That's why. So we shouldn't expect anything. We shouldn't, unfortunately, except I know I did not vote. I voted down ballot. I left that shit blank because I don't want neither one of those bastards. I don't want neither. Both of them can go to hell with gasoline draws for all I care, and take Kamala with you. But I did my down ballot like you because from local and state level, there were things that there was a need that certain people needed to be out, certain people needed to be in.
Now I'll be the first person to say I did not vote for Biden and Harris. I voted against Trump and Pence.
Yeah, I understand that. There were a lot of what do you call it? Protest votes.
Yes.
They're called protest votes. I get that.
Yes.
I still think there needed to be that gridlock, and white folks and everybody else who thought they were.
All I know is me voting down ballot. Voting down ballot would do more harm than good this time around. So I had to vote for Harris and Biden. Had to hold my nose and do it, but damn it, I did it. Okay,
but
and it worked.
That ballot was more important because of Warnock. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because even if Trump was in there, you still would have had the Democratic, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It still would have been democratic, so it would have still been a gridlock for all of them. It still would have been a slap fight and motherfuckers trying to storm the Capitol again and just, hey, get your popcorn and eat and let these motherfuckers go through it because they don't get it. It's just a matter of, I don't like this feeling. Well, no shit, motherfucker. We've been going through it for 400 fucking years. Welcome to the fucking club. And then you get a glimpse of it for 4 years and all of a sudden it's not even, oh, we get it. Let's start putting these policies in line. We don't like this. We see what the other people have been going through. Now we're going through, especially with COVID, everybody's money stopped. But what do? They hurried up and print them checks. So now that's why, to your other comment saying we're not going to see it in our lifetime. Oh yeah, the fuck we will, because there's no excuse now, because just the same way that they printed money for that stimulus, the same way the fuck you can print that goddamn money for some fucking reparations.
Yeah, but honestly,
that's too painful for you.
But we're not.
That's fine. Call it.
But we know it's not going to happen. We know it's not going to happen. But the point is, you're not going to see a person like me rise to the office of president. Okay, you're not going to see somebody with my type of ideology.
I don't think it has
a blackity black person. You're not going to see somebody like me as president. It just ain't going to happen.
I don't think it takes somebody that looks like you to be president for that to happen. And I'll say this, because LBJ, the biggest racist known to man, signed policy right in front of Martin Luther King. And he is nigga all day. But he still signed policy for black folks. One of the few racists that did that. And he is a racist to his core, but he still did it. So it doesn't matter.
What I'm saying is, you're not gonna see a black person, rise to the office of president, the type that's gonna come in kicking the door and like, damn it, I'm doing A, B, C, and D for black folks. Fuck all y'all. We're gonna make this shit happen.
No, but that's the thing. It's not about a fuck all. That's the thing. Why is it that doing something for black people means you can't do something for other people? With the same specificity that I've been saying, been calling out these names, which was my point of doing that, by saying LGBTQ, Latino community, white women, whatever, people with one leg in the back of their neck, whatever. But with the same specificity that they have policies put in line, all we're saying is you can specify. We should not be tacked on to brown people or tacked on to minority or tacked on to people of color. You don't start off a speech, Joe Biden and everybody else, about George Floyd being basically choked out in the middle of the street for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and then you dwindle down in your speech about what you're going to do for immigrants. What the fuck is that? Why are you using us? The same way you specify them, that means you need to specify black people. Why is it specifying us and giving us something automatically equates in people's minds that means no one else can get anything?
So you honestly believe so you wanna look me in the eye virtually and tell me that there will ever be a time in America where there is going to be a House of Representatives and a Senate, okay, enough people in both of those houses to approve reparations?
Yeah, you know why? Because I'll tell you
How in the hell do you think that's going to happen?
This is one reason why.
What?
Because in my travels, this is why I think that. Do you know that there are more white people that are on board, that have written books, that things that I quote from are written by white statisticians, written by white economists, written by white people. Actually, I even went to a virtual event earlier this morning with the Japanese. The Japanese. But
none of that matters. None of that matters. But none of that matters. None of that matters. None of that matters.
The only people that are really doing that are really fighting, not fighting against it, but saying, it's not going to happen in our lifetime, are our own people.
No, but none of that matters. You want to know why none of that matters?
It does matter because
no. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because those folks you're talking about, those white folks who are pro reparations, they're not in the House of Representatives. They're not in the Senate.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
So you telling me that there's going to be a majority in the House and in the Senate that's going to vote yes on reparations?
I'm telling you that they're there, and I can tell you can.
But it's not enough of them. That's the point. There's not enough of them. It's not enough of them. It's not enough of them. It's not enough.
Look at all the sponsors on that have 132 people and senators that have sponsored that bill, and it's getting a hearing. Even though I don't really want that bill to pass. That bill sucks. It's not a good reparations bill.
It is not enough. It is not enough of them. Okay? It won't be a majority. Just because you got 10 of them in there who are pro reparations, okay? You're not going to have the majority that's going to vote yes on reparations. Ain't happening. I'm just keeping it real.
It could be it ain't happening. But you know what else is brewing? Just like you said, over time we got to band together or whatever. There's going to be a lot of shit that ain't going to happen. Just like you saying about the voting, there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers going, you know what? I tried it the other way. I let people shame me the last time. I see how they've been cutting bills for the stimulus, with the dollar amount that they have already given out from big businesses to everybody else, they could have already paid out that reparations dollar amount is lower than what they have already paid out everybody else.
I get that.
There's no excuse for it. So I'm telling you, they can do that if they want to. And I mean, I'm not saying it like that. Like I got it made. I know what's happening. I got a crystal ball. But I am more than sure that come that next election cycle, and everybody mark my words, I'm telling you, and I don't want him to be president, but you'll be looking at Tom Cotton as your president. I promise you for free, because you will get a lot of black folks that will finally get it and be like, you know what? I tried it. I thought if they looked like me, they would do something for me. They still didn't do nothing for me. And now a lot of people that had money and don't have it because of COVID are now joining the race with the little people now, black folks, I mean. So now they're getting it. I guarantee you will not see the big voter turnout for the 2024 like you did for this one.
No, you're not. 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 No, you're not.
Of bullshit.
You're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see that kind of turnout unless Trump runs again.
No.
This election was all about Trump. Period. It wasn't about anything but Trump.
But because Biden and Kamala got in, I'm telling you, I think Tom Cotton is the next person trying to get in there.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. But there will be nowhere near the interest.
He's worse.
No, the
interest though, but I get it. Yeah, and he's gonna get in, unfortunately, and he's worse than Trump. I'm telling y'all right now.
Yeah, maybe he's worse than Trump, but once again, Trump's reputation.
That's why they better fight now.
But Trump's reputation,
I don't care who's in office. I want my money so that I can now afford to keep you. You can say nigga, but you can say it all the way over there because I can match you pound for pound with a lawyer. I can match you pound for pound with firearms. I can match you pound for pound with getting my ass up out of here. I can match you pound for pound now. And you
okay, well, but on the bright side,
about trying to harm me because you know that I'm poor.
But there's a bright side. There's a bright side, and the bright side is Harriet Tubman will be on the 20. So.
What does that do for me? What does Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill? How does that help me? And you already knew that. That was a softball. I'm not even going to answer that. You know what I was going to say.
Tubman 20s, making it rain,
wait a minute. How you gonna put a former slave, an icon, on a $20 bill and have a slave master on the back for money that you won't even give black people, but you won't give us money, but you'll put one of our icons on money with a slave master on the other side. I mean, it don't get no more insulting than that. You might as well.
I don't give a damn.
And I would respect you better.
You know what? It's been so long since I've even seen a $20 bill. Nobody uses currency anymore.
Nobody, and that's the thing. But think about
it. Who cares?
Now they want to put our money on their face when money is like paper money doesn't even mean nothing.
Yeah, I mean now.
How fucked up is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, if you go somewhere and you pull out, cash, folks look at you like, nigga, please, you crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cash? What's that?
Yeah, exactly. So nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It is a triple insult. But nobody's really using paper money.
No.
You ain't giving us no money, and then you putting one of our heroes on the front of a $20 bill while there's still a slave master on the back. It don't get no. If that don't say fuck you, what else does?
I feel you. I just wanted to make that point.
That was a softball question.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't gonna answer like that.
It was. It was. It was. Okay. Okay. We got to move on. Got another subject. No, we got one more subject to talk about. Okay. One more subject. Okay. Cause I got the timer going. So how much time we got left here? Let me see.
Probably like 15. You ended at 9.
We got 12. Well, no, we got 43 minutes. Wow. Okay. I thought we had less time than that.
We started earlier today.
Yeah, we did.
That's why I was like, ooh, okay. So, but it's up to you. I mean, it's your show. So
no, it's all good. I try to keep it at 2 hours. We got 43 minutes, so we're good. So we're good on time. We're good on time. All right. So we got to talk about Trump and the impeachment. Okay. So obviously they said they wanted to get him to testify. He came back and said no. I was hoping beyond hope that his ego would not allow him to say no. For the theater of him going on national TV, and testifying at his impeachment trial. I think that would be like the highest rated program in the history of the planet. I think they would have shut down schools, lunch, churches, everything. It would have. And I was praying for a Colonel Jessup moment. Did you order the insurrection? Did you order You goddamn right I did. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I wanted to see that moment. Because I know it would have happened. Somebody would have been questioning him, and they would have said, I want the truth. And he would have done it. He would have said it. You can't handle the truth. You goddamn right I did. I'm like,
goddamn right I ordered the code red.
You damn right I did. I ordered the goddamn insurrection. You goddamn right I did. And I'll do it again.
You know what? Hang on 1 second. What? I mean, like, not 1 second like that. This is just apropos to what's going on. Hang on.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Mom. Hey, you at home? No, I mean, I am home, but I want you to say hi to Alonzo. Alonzo? Do you remember Alonzo from San Antonio?
Oh.
You don't remember my former boyfriend, military, Alonzo? Oh, yeah. He's on the line. Say hi. Hi, Alonzo.
Hi, how are you?
She can't really hear you. But yeah, so anyway, he is actually, we're in the middle of a show, but you're in the show now. So I will call you back. We're doing a YouTube live. Oh, okay. All right, and I'll call. Huh? Well, I was trying to call Jim. Okay, well I'll get him. I'll call him. Okay, well I gotta call him. I don't know his phone. I'll text it to you. All right, bye. Okay, bye. My husband's birthday's coming up, that's why. I didn't touch his own happy birthday, but I knew she'd be surprised. She's going to be like, she doesn't really remember who you are. And in the 2 seconds, I'm getting ready to turn the phone off because she's getting ready to call me back and go, Alonzo! So just give her, let it marinate. I just thought that was that. Sorry about that, but I really wanted her to,
It's okay.
It hasn't hit her yet. She's going to be like, oh, I know her. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's been a while. It's been 30 years.
I know. Well, you know what? To her defense, because it's been what is it? It's been 3 years. February 1st would have been my mom's 53rd wedding anniversary to my dad, who passed away 3 years ago.
Wow.
So
yeah. Yeah.
So she's got a lot on the mind.
Yeah.
Right now. So shout out to her. Dad,
No doubt.
All right. Anyway, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
No, the impeachment.
Yes. So.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So, obviously, I'm saying it would have been high theater if he would have chosen to testify. Obviously, he isn't. I guess somebody convinced him. So what do you think? I'm almost certain that he wanted to do it, and somebody had to talk him out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on this whole impeachment thing? Do you think that they should have, like the Republicans wanted to do, just go ahead and sweep it under the rug and let it go, or are you okay with us going through this dog and pony show because we know he's not going to get convicted. Us going through this dog and pony show on Tuesday. Is it even worth it? If he's not going to be there. I was going to watch it, but I'm not going to watch it.
I care less. I want to. I think it's a waste of time. I agree with you. I think it's a waste of time. Obviously, he was advised by his lawyers not to testify because if he did, I think that could lead into other things that he's in trouble with the Southern District of New York. So, which I'm surprised they didn't fucking cuff his ass when he got off the plane once he, left the White House. I still don't understand what's going on with that. I don't know what the fuck they're waiting for. I wanted it to be, an hour later that they're showing him in handcuffs being extradited to New York from Florida,
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what's going on? Everybody's like, oh, they can't arrest a sitting president. You can't. Okay, he ain't sitting no more. So what we waiting for?
He's running.
Which tells me
He's
there's
running.
some back deals that were being made. I don't think anything's going to happen to the impeach. I mean, he's not going to be impeached the second time. I mean, he's not going to go through the hearing. I don't think anything's going to happen to him. Because I think that, to me, I think the back deal was made. We won't do anything to you as long as you don't ever try to run again. That's what I think. I don't know what they would do to seal his promise to not do that. Because, Trump does what the fuck he wants when he wants to do it.
Well, so, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's two things they can do. Obviously, they're not going to be able to. He won't be convicted because the Republicans already said they're not going to. They don't have enough votes to convict him, but they can bar him from running for office, from holding public office again by the simple majority. So,
they can?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
I would go for that.
Yeah.
I would just go for that. I mean, because you're not going to get him the other way. I'm like, don't waste taxpayers' money and, more fodder for, the election coming up for, giving people a show. You're yelling and screaming and beating your fists against the desk and, asking all these crazy questions that don't mean nothing, ain't going to go nowhere. So I agree. I think it's a waste of time. And I want to know what is going on with the Southern District of New York. Arrest his ass. What are we waiting for?
Well, I don't think that's going to happen either. I think, once again, like you said, there will be some sort of a deal. There'll be some sort of deal.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that, but I think so too.
Yeah, he might get a Nixon type of a deal. I think that Biden may go as far as pardoning him with the caveat that your ass can never do anything ever again other than go, home and play golf.
And I don't want him to be able to get pension, and I don't want him to be able to have Secret Service for the rest of his life.
No, he's gonna get that. He's gonna get that. I don't.
He's gonna get it?
Yeah, I don't see them taking that away. I think he's gonna get a Nixon type deal. You get to be free. Okay, you get to chill. You can give speeches and make.
I don't want the criminal protected. I want him vulnerable. You're out there.
Yeah, but I think once again, I think the end game is that you lose all your power, which to him is more valuable, especially the power that he has right now over the Republican Party. Now the downside is whatever happens to Trump is going to make him a martyr, okay, and it's going to embolden his base, okay. So we already know that's going to happen. So I think you have to just go ahead and just take that hit as the Democratic Party, knowing that the greater good is making sure that he never gets a chance to hold office again. Now I think the bigger problem is that Trump name is so strong right now in the with his base in the Republican Party that either his daughter or his son can just supplant him just on their name alone and get nominated and or ascend to the presidency. That's the scary part.
They need to be hemmed up too, though. They need to be hemmed up.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to get Donald Jr. because he was there at the insurrection as well. But but Ivanka, I don't think they can really.
Oh, especially her.
Yeah.
Her and her vampire-looking ass husband.
Yeah, exactly. I would love for that to happen, but I really don't think they have enough to rope her into it. They can possibly rope Don Jr. into it, but that is my prediction that there will be some sort of backroom deal. And I think if I'm Biden, I would be open to doing that if it just gets him off the fucking plate. Because the last thing we want is for him to skate and 4 years from now run again, and we got to go through this. I don't think he'll win again, no matter what. But just having to go through all this nonsense that we just went through, because if he runs again, it'd be the same shit. It's rigged. You're gonna go through the same shit all over again. And I don't think that we have tough enough skin to get through this shit a second time. So that's my thought.
No, I just want. That's my problem with this whole thing. One side or the other. That's my issue with the Democrats and the Republicans. They're just interchangeable. They're basically a distinction without a difference. And I want to see people punished. People need to get punished. They need to be punished for the buffoonery, or they are just further setting the example and laying the groundwork for somebody else. So you say Trump can't get in. It won't even take one of his offspring to run. They'll just get in somebody else will see, Trump's blueprint worked, and they'll just pick it up. It'll just be another face that's not related to them, blood relation, and you're going to get Trump 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 every time. And every time there's somebody else, we got to vote them out, and then it'll be another excuse. I just couldn't take them in there anymore. And we just got to vote them. There'll always be an excuse to never do what needs to be done for the people that are saying that they need some shit done, because you always putting some asshole in there because you never punished one before. It's a beautiful little cycle. You never really have to do anything for the people you do something for, because we all need to put our shit aside so we can help your ass out, because we need to get the devil out of office. We're going to keep doing this shit every 4 years, and I am so tired of it. I don't know what to do. I'm sick of it.
But
in 4 years, it'll be something else. We got to get the Tom Cotton out.
We got to put this
other asshole in. And then in 2028, we got to get that person out. We can't add this. I'm like, when the fuck do we stop doing the dumb shit? When does it end?
It's not. But there's a nasty rumor out there. There's a really nasty rumor out there. Okay?
Okay.
That nasty rumor is Tucker Carlson.
Doing what?
Running for president.
Oh, he probably Sucker Carlson. That's his name. Call him right.
Yeah.
Sucker Carlson.
Yeah. He has a big platform. A lot of folks out there, and
he's part of, what is it, the Daily Stormer? Isn't that his paper?
Something like that. Yeah,
the
Stormer.
Kind of equivalent to like a Breitbart, like Bannock's paper. Carlson has something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So that's the wild card. Who can come in and really fuck shit up.
Take your pick. There's a whole hodgepodge of them if they don't get. That's why they need to get the ones that were part of inciting or riding that wave that helped propel that insurrection. There needs to be, like, the Democrats wouldn't have to worry. They're just like, you know what? You're done. You're done. There is no hearing. There's no nothing. You've been speaking to this. You've been this. You're part of what has happened. You're out of here. Get them out. But they're still there, riding the coattails of what you said, of people, because Trump has made such a name, they still have something to run off of right now.
And to top it all off, a police officer was murdered during the Capitol riot. And it's like, a murder occurred, and have you read anything about it? About the investigation?
They have the guy. They've done nothing.
So I don't. So they got the person who killed him.
Yeah, they have the dude that's from. I guess they narrowed it down on camera. Mm-hmm. But they have him, but they've never said what they're charging him with.
Okay, so why isn't Trump being charged with, as an accessory to that murder?
The same reason why they don't charge any white supremacist that's tied to a white organization. They don't take the whole organ. They only do RICO shit with the black folks. You can do something wrong on your block, and they'll take grandma and the baby and everybody else on your block. You ain't had shit to do with it. You didn't even know what was going on. You're just trying to get home from work and mind your own business. But because Pookie or Ray Ray did something, they want to sweep the block. But whenever it happens,
why gotta be Pookie? Why?
They're always an isolated incident. Even if you saw them doing it.
Sidebar. Why is it always gotta be Pookie? Why Pookie always get dragged in everything?
It's a cliche nickname now.
But why folks always got to drag Pookie into it though? Pookie ain't did nothing to nobody.
Pookie, I know Pookies.
We all know Pookie. We all know Pookie. But Pookie Pookie.
Oh, I know a Pookie.
We all know a
I know
Pookie.
a Pookie. I mean, like not the cliche one. I mean, I know somebody.
You know a real life
whose
Pookie.
name is Pookie, and I actually have a cousin named Ray Ray. I'm not kidding. I do.
Ray or Day Day.
I know two people named that, and I grew up with that in the South, in Houston. I know a Pookie and a Ray Ray.
What's his government name? Cervantes? What?
Oh, Pookie?
Yeah, what's his government name?
His name is Jeroy, actually.
Jeroy. Okay, that's...
And Ray Ray's name is actually Raymond, but his nickname, because he was so cute as a little kid, we call him Ray Ray.
Okay. All right, I'll spend you say something like, La Treves.
No, Jeroy is actually Creole.
Nortavius.
From Louisiana, but in Houston, and Ray Ray is, full on, Raymond.
Larquavian Hightower.
No, I didn't have any of those. That was getting closer to like the 70s, 80s, and those crazy names, Laquavius, Laquacious, Beyonce, who's from Houston, Texas, all those names. I have a cousin named Valencia. I got
Dyslexia. Dyslexia, what? Her name is Dyslexia?
Maylesia. Her father's name is Bayless, so her mother named her Baylesia.
Oh, true story.
When I heard Beyonce, I wasn't shocked.
True story.
I know, she's from Houston, and she was from Houston. I was like, that sounds like a Texas name. They want to give these outlandish, who can come up with the most creative name.
True story. You want to hear a true story, a funny true story?
Go for it.
Okay. Many years ago, I worked for a major corporation. I worked in management for a major corporation. Okay? And there was this young lady that worked in the office. Her name, no lie, this is the truth. Her name was spelled Nigra.
No.
Yes, and it was pronounced the way it is spelled.
Where is she from?
She was local, Georgia. Okay, her name was pronounced Nigra. I'm not gonna say her last name because she might be out there listening, but her last name was her first name. Her name was pronounced.
She's originally from Georgia. Is her family from Georgia?
Yeah, she wasn't like she wasn't like an immigrant or anything. She was a local.
And her family named her that on her birth certificate.
That was her name on her at her desk, on her nameplate at her desk. It had her name, Nigra, and her last name. Okay, but you know what we called her because it was so it made for a very difficult conversation. Anytime you need to say anything to this person, right? You can imagine how it sounds. Hey, Nigra,
Could you imagine on a telephone call? Yeah, let me pass you on to Nigra.
Yeah, exactly. So,
oh my God.
So you know what everybody called her?
What?
Nikki. Everybody called her Nikki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nikki. Yeah, but still, dude, what the hell?
Yes. That is a true story. That's a true story. So we have to do better as a people. Oh yeah.
She had to go through life like that.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah. Elementary school.
And said Nigra.
Yes.
I would have been like, what did you say? And then somebody's real name. I'd be like, what? I'd have been so confused.
Yeah, I mean, she's at graduation, ready to get her diploma. It's like.
Oh, I didn't even think that far ahead.
Can you imagine she was a newscaster or something, and she's a reporter, Nigra has the story.
Back to you, Nigra.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
That's true.
What? Shout out to you, girl. I want to talk to your parents. That's all I want to say, and I hope they're still alive because I got questions.
This was many years ago, but I'm assuming she's alive.
Probably a brilliant mind. I'm gonna give her flowers or whatever. But your parents, I gotta talk to them. That's not right.
So shout out to Nikki. Nikki, if you're out there listening, shout out to you, Nikki.
Way shout out to you because I don't know what you need to find her and interview her because that's a story right there. What she would do.
I need to change your name to Betty or something. Man, as soon as I was old enough, I would have straight to the government office and changed my goddamn name. Shit, I would have put in the application, changed my goddamn name.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
No, my name is Lucy.
We're not going to do this for another decade like this.
No doubt.
As soon as I become a legal age, emancipatable.
And think about it. Think about it. Say she gets married, have kids, and everything, right? And her daughters, is at school with the kids and everything, right? You know, and who's your mama? My mama, her name is Negra. I mean, come on. Just yeah. I mean, if you're a telemarketer calling her, to offer her a credit card or something, is Negra home?
Oh my God! That's so not fair.
Oh my God!
I did that to that baby like that.
Kelly, I just realized something.
What happened?
I just realized something.
What happened?
I'm not recording the video.
You are kidding me.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord, this is all audio. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Oh my God.
Yeah. I just realized I didn't press record.
Oh.
But I am getting the audio, but yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
You got a mini, you got half of it. All right, so they don't get our facial expressions.
Yeah, then I get in the full.
They don't get me in shock.
Yeah.
So I'm in shock at this stuff you're telling me.
Then I get my mug. But on that note, I know you gotta go. I need, you need to call your mom and everything, right? So I'm not gonna hold you any longer.
She thinks it's my husband's birthday, and it's actually February 5th. She gets it wrong every year. She always calls him on the 4th. At least it's a day early.
What?
So
it's the 5th.
I have to remind her that
it's the 5th now.
Actually, I already texted her while we were talking and told her that it was the 5th. So that
I'm in Georgia, so it's the 5th now in Georgia.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it's midnight for you. It's only 9:04 here.
Yeah, and she's in Arizona.
It's early here. Shoot, midnight is early here in Vegas. You know
I know.
Look, the days off when pre-pandemic, just so everybody knows, normally for the locals, so people can have some respect when they come here. If minus family members, but just understand that the people that work here, 85% of this town works on the strip somewhere in the service industry. If they're not performing, culinary, whatever, floor supervisors, blackjack tables, slot attendants, whatever. With that being said, our days off are usually Sunday in rotation, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are our normal days and usually, because it's a 24-hour town. So usually a lot of us are getting off at maybe 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. So those are our normal hours to be up. So a lot of us are real perky right now, where a lot of people who have a regular 9 to 5 are like, shit, I gotta really get the fuck to bed. I've been doing Zoom calls. I did a Zoom call yesterday. We did a Zoom call that started at 1 and ended at 4, because that was the norm. Like if it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, I admire
but it is.
I admire your tenacity and your stamina, because I couldn't do it.
Look, hey, I'm alive. There's a lot of people who woke up today or didn't that would love to trade places with our conversation. Just us bullshitting and didn't press record today. They wish that was a problem,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have to look at it that way.
Absolutely, and I second that emotion.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what keeps me from complaining too much. I'm like, I know somebody who's worse off, probably, that is on a ventilator. Shout out to anybody. Please be careful with the COVID. I just want to put that out there. There's so many different strains of it now. Please don't make light of it just because you haven't met anyone that's had it. Because a lot of times people that aren't showing signs of it are just asymptomatic. It doesn't mean that they don't have it. It just means that they're never going to show signs of it. So just please use caution. I have to put that out there.
Absolutely. Wash your hands and all that good stuff, and keep maintaining your distance, wear your damn mask and everything. So I feel you on that. Yep. All right. So parting shots. Parting shot. You got anything else you want to say before we go?
Just be mindful, people, everybody out there. Pay attention to what's going on in politics. I know it looks boring. It's not, it's not sexy. It's not meant to be. But there are things you need to be listening out for and watching out for that could affect you and affect your pocket. Just think about it. How is it going to affect me, my bottom line, in my pockets? And that's where your focus should be, and that will keep your interest in politics. I promise you.
Absolutely. I second that emotion 100%. So, that being said, Kelly Pryor, once again, I appreciate you taking the time out to meet with me once again. It's been fun as usual. So let's make sure we do it again real soon. You know, I'll be hitting you up. So I appreciate your availability. Okay.
All right, let me know.
All right.
Thanks
So once
for having
again,
me on. I appreciate it.
thanks so much. Tell your mama said hi once again.
I will. She'll remember you now. It'll be too late because we're not on the call. But
all right, real good, real good.
I'll give you an update next time.
Do that.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.